Don't be the angry black man. Bub, don't turn. Put this on. Are you on? Can you hear?
Yeah. Do I have to turn it on?
Fox Sports trending now. Wild Saturday in college football. Texas A&M.
Can you hear? I can hear this.
Okay,
You on?
41-38.
I'll tell you in a second. Let me see if you on. Give me a headset.
Oh, final 3 minutes of the game.
You on?
I don't hear anything.
Hey, just so you know, I had to restart the computer, so don't go on it.
Fox Sports Daybreak. I'm Andy Burke. I'm on guard. I went together every day. We call it Fox Sports Daybreak on Fox Sports Radio. What's happening instead of old sports weekend, Northie?
Oh, we got Rich Cermanello, we got college football insider, we got the NFL, NBA, and much, much more.
Bottom barrel betting on our group hug and all this in the week.
Yeah. Sookie now. Good morning, Rochester. Top of the morning to you. This is Nate Brown coming to you from live of the First Niagara building up here in Rochester on the 16th floor. Welcome and good morning. Is Kevin in the studio? Kevin, you there? Kevin, you there? Oh, you're not there. How about Joe? Is Joe there? Nope. What are we doing here, Pam?
It's okay, just keep
Okay, I'm still talking. Okay, I'm trying to figure out my guys here. But anyway, until the guys get here, we've got tremendous guests on this morning. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good. You doing well? We got Mr. Corey LamarTanksley. Tanksley here, and
Keith Perez.
okay, and we're going to be talking about different kinds of things too today, folks. So it's going to be pretty interesting. But today's show for the first half hour is brought to you by the New York State Commission for the Blind and Visually Handicapped. Their goal is to be a standard of excellence in folks receiving that care who may be legally blind. Hopefully to develop strategies and programs and best practices to work with those folks who have that situation. So to get in contact with those guys, give them a call at 1-800-345-KIDS or 1-866-505-SAFE. For information on the blind service, you can also call 1-866-871-3000. What up, fellas? Are y'all there? Hey, there you go, Kev. What's up, dude? Oh, okay. Yes, man. Hey, I can dig it. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Hey, man, good to hear your voice, man. We got a tremendous lineup this morning, and I also want to get to those guys. So I know you got something great for us. Kevin, 2 weeks ago, man, Joe did this expose on Ebola. People were calling me, texting me like, is that guy a doctor? Like, nah, just a great reporter. He did an excellent expose, and I got a copy for you, so you gotta get that show. Did a great job, man. Did a great job. Okay, well, you got that, man. Hey, but first up today, gentlemen, man, we got an author in the building, Joe, Mr. Corey LamarTanksley, and he did a tremendous book called B-Boys to Men, Freshmen, and look like it's a series of books are gonna come out of this, huh?
Yes, sir. It's the first book. It's called B-Boy to Man, Freshman. The next one will be Sophomore, so on and so forth.
Well, welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you.
And the thing I like about this brother, y'all, he actually reached out to your brother. He was like, yo, Nate, I want to come on the show. I got the book I want to talk about. I'm going to, promote the book. I'm like, dude, anything to help a brother out, we could do that. And I welcome you, man. So thanks for showing up. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Plus reaching out to us, too.
Well, you're a man of your words, so I respect any man of their words. So.
Well, I saw you at Spot Cafe, homie.
That's
I told you back in the summer. I said, when you get the book together, right. Joe and Kevin, that's how we do. I said, give us a call, and you here.
That's right. Yeah.
So tell the audience about the book.
Well, the book is set here in Rochester in 1989, and it's basically a love story, but it's a love story that has depth to it, and hip-hop is the kind of backdrop to the love story, and it's told in like in a series of dates of what happens, almost like a diary almost.
Okay.
And although the book is called B-Boy to Man, it is just as much about the female character in the book.
And what's her name?
The female character in the book is called Kamara Truth.
Yeah.
The male character name is Chase Douglas, and I named him Chase Douglas after Frederick Douglass.
Okay.
Right. So I wanted to have that Rochester connection to the to the book. And again, it's set in 1989. He's from the inner city. She's from Greece, New York, and they meet at a college. A fictional college
called McNair?
Yes.
I try to read the book, Kevin. It's funny because I've been like reading the book, Kevin. You know how we do on our throne, homie. Right? Okay, yeah. Let me read this book. So yeah, McNair.
Yeah, McNair College, and I named it McNair College after Ronald McNair.
Right.
Right. So
and tell people who Ronald McNair is. So people might not know who that is.
Yeah.
Yes. And Joe, tell people who Ronald McNair is. People don't know. Tell people who that brother is.
No. It's all good. Ronald McNair is one of the most intelligent, hardworking, brilliant black men to ever come across. He did his PhD in like rocket science and stuff like that. Then he actually lost all of his stuff and he had to redo it again. Basically, the McNair program, I believe Ronald Reagan actually did it.
Yeah.
One
good thing, Reagan.
Yeah, one good thing he did. And I came through the McNair program. It's for minorities and first generation college students who haven't been to college, so that they can make sure to get their PhDs and master's degree, basically their PhDs. So he named it after Ronald McNair.
Was he an astronaut?
Yeah, he was an astronaut. He was an astronaut. Yeah,
Who died?
He in the Challenger.
Right.
He died in the Challenger. So yes.
The teacher, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So right.
Yeah.
Right. So I wanted to, give him a shout out because through the McNair program, I graduated from Brockport. I made a lot of really good connections. It's a really good program for people who don't have necessarily the resources to go through college. Mm-hmm. So that's why I named the college that. So basically, there's a professor. His name is Professor King, and he is, he's from the Hanover Projects in Rochester, New York, and he has his own path. He went from kind of like a prisoner to professor. So, but so he has a certain amount of depth to him. Like they say, you gotta have a little dirt on you before anybody kind of trusts you.
Okay.
So he has a certain amount of depth to him that makes sure that lends him credibility when he mentors both Chase and Kamara through love. The first time, obviously, I'm not giving nothing away by saying they fall in love, but when you fall in love for the first time, a lot of things happen, especially when you're that young and you've never been in love before. So it's basically what happened.
You can't see act stupid.
Yeah, exactly. I always say, the path to manhood invariably always goes through a woman.
That's true. But actually came through a woman.
Yeah. There you go.
Without my mama, I call my mama every day. I'm just such a wimp. And Joe know me because of my mother. Yeah, I call that woman every day because we came from a woman.
Yes, and Professor King has a lot of knowledge about women that he imparts upon Chase. So kind of, also Chase is kind of like a womanizer too. By the way, he's kind of like a womanizer. So he has a lot of learning.
Yeah, exactly, it's for Chase Douglas. You got so Joe knows his history. Yeah, right.
But yeah, I've gotten nothing but amazing reviews from the book. I had one woman believe that she said, "Well, who wrote? Did a woman help you write the book? Because you have to speak from a woman's point of view."
Right.
She was like, "Well, what woman helped you write the book?" I said, "Well, I wrote the book." But she was very, very impressed, and it runs the gamut. I'll tell you a very quick story. I got a friend out in Oakland, California.
That's where my man Kevin's from.
Yes. Okay.
Oak Town.
Cool. And I have a friend out there that works she works at a juvenile detention center. Okay. So she ordered the book. She has the book, and she let one of her residents read it. And she's 16 years old from Oakland, California. Now she read the book she read half the book in a day. That's how engrossed she was. Now the thing about it, if you're in Oakland, California, you're 16, you're in a juvenile detention center, what do you know about old school hip hop or Rochester, New York, or love, even for that matter? So it was something about the book that connected her.
Right.
And I was so impressed by that. I said, okay, this has gravity. Then I have another. My mother has a friend. She's in her almost 70. She read the book in 2 days. Just couldn't put it down. And that's just the spectrum.
The spectrum,
and
yeah.
everybody else in between. They just like, we can't wait for the next one.
Now let me ask you a question,
Sure.
Corey. This is great. If people want to get a copy of the book, this is what you're
right.
up here to do.
That's
Holmes.
right. That's right.
How do they get a copy of this
Okay.
book?
You go to Amazon.com, B-Boy to Man. Just type it up. You type up B-Boy to Man, it'll come up. You go right to Amazon.com. You can go to Barnes & Nobles, and you can go and order it right directly from Barnes & Nobles. You can also get, I have about 3 copies myself. I've been selling them like that lately too. I have about 3 copies myself that you can get in touch with me. Go right to Facebook, Corey LamarTanksley. And
Spell your last name, Corey.
Tankley, Corey LamarTanksley. And you can make sure to go there, inbox me, befriend me, and I'll make sure you get the book. I'll autograph it for you and everything. It's $20, but you have to get this book.
Now, Corey, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What if Joe and Kevin want you to come to Kentucky and Minnesota to do an author situation with the book? Is that doable?
As long as God is around, I'll find a way to get to Kentucky. I'll find a way to get to Mars if I have to. Get this
Okay,
book.
because I know those 2 brothers have tremendous contacts and will probably love to have you there. Yes, Joseph.
Yes, sir. Okay, Corey, C-O-R-E-Y, Lamar, L-A-M-A-R, and last name Tanksley, T as in Tom, A-N-K-S-L-E-Y. B-Boy to Man.
Yep. And Corey, didn't you print this yourself?
Oh yeah,
This is the deep part about it.
Yeah,
So, come on now.
My brother, Lawrence Lee Evans Sr., we formed a company and we put the book out ourselves. So we own the book. Matter of fact, my brother Nate and I was talking about turning it into a script. Because
Kevin, you know me, Kev. You know,
Yeah.
Kev, Joe, you know me. It's just it look like a script here to me, y'all.
It's good, trust me. So, if it gets turned into a movie or HBO want to turn it into a series, we don't have to go to a publishing company. We own it. And that was very important to us. We want to own what we create, and it's very important that we leave that legacy for our children. Also, a part of the proceeds go to FCII, which is First Community Interfaith Institute, which is a teaching church, and they have a tutorial program. So part of the proceeds automatically go directly there. We want to give back right from the jump because it's important. Because that's how we came up. So it's important you give back, from the beginning and stuff. So,
Well, Corey, dude, I'm excited about having you up here today, man. Thanks for coming.
Nate, I appreciate your man of your word.
Well, dude, listen, man. I only got 2 things going for me: my word and my good looks. And my good looks is fading fast.
That's true.
So, about to be 59 a couple of weeks, Joe. You know the drill. So, hey, listen. But at the end of the day, man, I told you that because it's not about me. Because I called Kevin and I called y'all. So listen, this is what we do because we're a team. Mm-hmm. And Kev's like, Nate, do what you got to get done. And that's why I love them. That's why I love those brothers, man. They don't. If it look a little whack, they'll tell me too. Trust me. Kevin will be like, Nate, what the hell are you doing, boy? Back up. But the fact of the matter is, I called him and said, listen, we got this young brother coming up. So we appreciate you. We're going to take a quick break right now, Kevin and Joe, okay? And when we come back, we got my man Keith, right?
Yes.
Keith Perez. And Keith going to go in hard on this red light thing, Joe and Kevin. Nah, man, Joe, don't laugh at me. Kevin, don't laugh at me, man. I got my car booted a couple weeks ago, coming out and working at the jail, man, offer them damn red light tickets. We'll be right back.
In Seattle, when Russell Wilson is the
You like that?
I love that.
You like that? Kevin, that's for young godmother, my brother. That's true. Yeah, well. Cause you always, cause what resonates to me when you say tomorrow ain't guaranteed to nobody, like the next second is not guaranteed, man. Yep. Yeah. So that goes out to your godmother. Hey, we got another guest here up on the show. Like I told, like before we went to break, man. A couple weeks ago, Joe, coming out of jail. He's not teaching the jail sometimes. Come out of the jail, Joe, right downtown here. I come out like 11:30. I look around. I got a boot in my car. Joe, I'm heated. So I called the number. Now it's not for parking tickets because I don't get parking tickets. I learned that a long time ago. That was 2 years ago, boot in the car. So no parking tickets for your man. This is for red light. You know the red light joints, Kevin? Yeah, let's do the scam. So I'm like heated. So fast forward, I'm driving home and I see this sign that says Nix, what does it say, Keith?
Nick's Red.
NixRed.com. Man, I blueprinted right in my brain said NixRed.com. So I go home. No, Nix. N-I-X. Red. Nick. NixRed.com. So I go to the job, get online, and I'm emailing my man a thesis. Okay, okay, like, yo, this is ridiculous. So he said, nah, Nate, we get ready to do, we need petition, people to sign a petition, right?
Yes.
So I go and I sign a petition, and then I say, yo, man, you need to come up on the show and talk about this, man, because this is ridiculous. They're giving people the business. So here's my man, Keith Perez from the NixRedLight.com. He's going to give us some insight to what's happening on Wednesday. There's a city council meeting on Wednesday, people. And go to his website, first of all, to sign a petition. Am I right, Keith?
Right.
There you go. Talk to us.
You can leave comments, and I've gotten a lot of great comments.
I know. Well, tell people, how'd you come up with, what happened to you on your personal journey for this?
Well, I haven't had a ticket since 1964.
No, you good.
You know, I'm not a perfect driver, but in the space of 6 months, I got 3 red light tickets.
There you go.
And all of them were for a slowly creeping right on red, where you can look at the picture, you see a driver who's watching things and going, you know, being careful, but because technically you were not completely stopped, they got me. Since then, I've done a lot of research. I found out.
Yep.
Turning right.
Come on, Kev.
No, what it is, well, that's my description, but what they're doing is, they started out with a good idea whose time has passed, but they started out trying to get people running red lights, blatant running of red lights and having, you know, right angle collisions and people get hurt. Sounded like a good idea, but they tried it out for a while. This is true all around the country. They weren't making any money on it. They were losing money. So these vendors like Redflex and even Xerox approached the cities and said, listen, you know, you gotta tighten up on things. We'll get people for turning right on red without a complete stop. And, or even not just stopping behind the white line.
If you stop behind the white, that's how they got me like 3 times.
I've gotten that. So it turns out, in a lot of cities around the country, 60 to 80% of the tickets are for that violation. Nothing to do with the original intent. But they're making a lot of money now for the cities and the companies. And the thing that's outrageous is that this Redflex, who was
those guys are scam.
They were just kicked out of Chicago by Mayor Rahm. You know, they were caught red-handed bribing city officials, and they're under indictment. And the CEO of Netflix was forced to resign.
Redflex, not Netflix, Redflex.
Did I? Okay, I'm sorry.
I got you, bro. I got you. Because we don't want to get in trouble on the show now.
No.
We don't want it's Redflex.
Yeah, Redflex, not me. But she's been indicted along with 2 Chicago city officials. Now, one of the city officials and a former vice president of Redflex have made plea deals, and the vice president has actually admitted that under the direction of the CEO, he bribed people in more than 12 cities. So where does that leave Rochester? It makes me wonder, you know. So
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, what's happening on? Tell people what's happening on Wednesday, Keith, because that's what people are signing up.
Wednesday, City Council is poised to renew the contract for 5 more years. And they produced a study that was so-called justifies this.
But it's so bogus because it's like, Kevin, it's like me studying myself. Say, Nate, you're a good guy. Like, what the?
Yeah, wouldn't you think if you were...
Exactly.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of incentive to keep the program because, you know, Rochester's the 3rd poorest city in the country with a lot going against it. But to balance their budget on the backs of the city folk who are already suffering, you know, it's just ridiculous. But I would think if I was a city councilman and I know this stuff about red flags, I wouldn't be jumping at the chance to renew the contract without doing more
research. Exactly.
Yeah, and
exactly.
they're just bound. You know, they're gung ho about this thing, and if we don't stop on Wednesday, we're stuck for another 5 years.
For another 5 years. And the things you have a petition, right? Right. Right. Well, put it this way. Put it this way, homie. Rochester right now cannot afford, between the Rochester Housing Authority going through what they're going through, Kevin and Joe, and I tell you, I'll catch you up on that fiasco. They're going through that now with this red light stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. And like Keith said, on the backs of poor folk, they ain't got no red lights in Brighton, around the court, Webster. They ain't having it. There you go.
Yeah,
or poor people. And at some point in time, you get tired of this. And because it hit me personally, you know how I am, Kevin. When something hit me personally, I just don't know how to act. Okay. And I think this is just egregious. Once again, man. So, you know, it's a quote by Edward Burke that Kevin always says. In order for evil to triumph, is for good men, and I included women in this, Kevin, is to do nothing. And you say that all of you, Kevin, you said that. I mean, you're the first brother that said that to me. Let me look this quote up. Kind of deep. So here we are, 2014. If evil will continue in Rochester, all we got to do is say nothing. I'm saying something. My wife's going to turn to Howard Eagle, but I don't care. There we go. Don't turn to Howard Eagle, Bubba. I don't care. It's Bubba Howard Eagle. I love Howard Eagle because there's sometimes need some civil obedience, and we got to be the one to have them become obedient. I'm sorry, civil disobedience. Thank you very much, Joseph. Some civil disobedience. So tell us what we're going to do right quick before we go to break, Keith.
Well, I'm inviting everybody who signed the petition to show up at City Council. I've already got some people confirming that. And you know, we mean to raise some hell there. I've signed up to speak for 10 minutes, and I'm hoping other people do.
I got 5.
Great.
I got 5.
Right. They need to hear from us. And You know, this whole thing's really about privatized law enforcement.
Thank you.
They're doing that all over the country. We have privatized prisons
Exactly.
for profit. Something's got to make this stop. You know, maybe this is the place where we'll start. But there's some positive things that came out of this. I noticed around town, especially at the red light corners, that they have timers on the crosswalk, the pedestrian thing.
Okay.
And it's very helpful now when you're approaching an intersection. You see the countdown timer. 10,
Oh, yeah, you
9,
do, you do.
And it gives you time to decide whether you should try to speed up to make the light or slow down. And to me, using them has been one positive thing that came out of this, and that would be the solution to the problem. They can engineer the problem away by increasing the yellow, and the red lights can be shortened on the other side.
Okay.
And they can put these things up. There's so many other ways to reduce.
Now, how do we get to your website to sign a petition?
Go to nixred, nixred.com.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stuff, a lot of links to the this program all over the country, all the things that are going on. And there's every page has a link to the petition.
Yo, dude, that's how I got these 70 reasons to ban red light cameras. So
Yeah.
I got this. Hey, you listen to what's going on with Brown Island. Keith, thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
for coming up. And I was vetting, homie. I was vetting. I was writing and vetting, man.
You're not the only one.
Dude,
People,
I'm
everybody
like,
that,
yo. And I told Kevin earlier, I ain't had no $700. That was like, thank God, Kev. Thank you, Kevin, for that one, homie. I got you. Okay, let's go for Brown Island. What's today's day, too, Kevin? The day's the 10th, right? No, 9th. The day's the 9th. Tomorrow, okay, the day's the 9th. We'll be right back.
well, thank you.
How was that?
That was great.
Listen. I'm going to
I
be
got
there
a
with
lot to
Belgium.
say, but that's the problem. In 10 minutes, I don't know if I
Tough
can
week
say
for you, I realize. but
No!
I thought about you. I was hoping you
No,
were okay.
that was a good week.
All right. Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
Stop.
It's a good week.